Okay, good morning. We're on day 3 of the Easter revision, and today we've got area and perimeter. Often area and perimeter can end up being forming and solve equation questions. So what we got now? So first question. Here are two rectangles, A, B, C, D, PQRS. QR equals 10. QR 10. Always an idea to write any information on the diagram if it's not already there. BC equals PQ. So in this case, this one here equals this one here. I personally would probably be putting X on there at some point. I'm probably going to have to work that out. And that means that this one is X as well, and this one is X as well. It says the perimeter of ABCD equals 26 centimetres. The area of PQRS is 45 centimetres squared. Find the length of AB. Right, well, first of all, if we look at the rectangle PQRS, the area is 45 centimetres squared. So base times height, X times 10 equals 45. But divide by 10, X equals 4.5. So first of all, I can find that one quite easily. And of course that then puts that as 4.5 and that's 4.5. I need to find the length of AB. Well, I've already used X, so I'll probably use Y for this one. And then it says the perimeter of ABCD is 26 centimetres. So I've got Y plus 4.5 plus Y plus 4.5 equals 26. Simplify that. 2Y plus 9 equals 26. Take the 9, 2Y equals 17. Divide by 2. So Y equals 8.5. Not X. Y equals 8.5. And that is AB. So AB. There you go. That was quite easy, to be fair. Now what we've got. This rectangular frame is made from 5 straight pieces of metal. The weight of the metal is 1.5 kilograms per metre. Work out the total weight of the metal in the frame. Quite easy to see that this is 5 and this is 12. However, it's this diagonal here, and we've got a right angle triangle. And anytime I see a right angle triangle with a side missing, in this case X, I've got I'm always looking for Pythagoras. Remember, Pythagoras is 8 squared plus B squared equals C squared, where C is the longest side, A and B are the shorter sides. So in this case, 5 squared plus 12 squared equals X squared, and 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169 equals X squared. So square root of 169 is 13. That's a common square root, and 5, 12, 13 is quite a common right angle triangle. I then know that this is 13. So the frame, length of frame is 5 plus 12 plus 5 plus 12 plus 13. That is 10, 24, that's 34, that's 47 metres. 1.5 kilograms per metre, so 47 times by 1.5 is 47 plus half of that is 23.5, so that gives me 70.5 kilos. Okay, yep, that's that one done. Right, here we go. Here's a trapezium drawn on a centimetre grid. On the grid, draw a triangle equal in area to this trapezium. maybe worth remembering the area of a trapezium. You could work this out with squares, but the area of a trapezium is half A plus B times by the height. A and B are the parallel sides, and the height is the perpendicular height to those two parallel sides, which in this case that would be the height, and the height is 4. So the area is a half. A is 2, B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times by 4. Half of 4 is 2, and 2 times 9 is 18. Right, it then wants me to draw a triangle equaling area to this trapezium. So it's got to have an area of 18. Remember, area of a triangle is half base times height. So I need 18 equals a half base times height. So if I times by 2 times by 2, I need the base and the height to be two numbers multiplied together to make 36. So there's plenty I could use. I could use 6 and 6, 4 and 9. I use 4 and 9 here. So there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, by rights, use a ruler. And I've just done a right angle triangle. If you think about it, 9 by 4 is 36. Half of that is 18. That's the same as the other. Okay, that was okay. Right, diagram shows a shape A, B, C, D, E, F. All the corners of the shape are right angles. The perimeter of the shape is 28 meters. Work out the area of A, B, C, D, E, which is shaded on the diagram. So, first of all, what I've got here is I've got 2 right angles. So what I would do is work out the area of the compound shape, which is basically the 2 rectangles, and then I would take away the 2 triangles. Right, so what I need here is I need to find, it says the perimeter. So what I've got is the perimeter is 28. And how do I get the perimeter of this shape? Well, what have I got? So I've got, this is 6, because 2 and 4 equals 6. So all I need to do is then work out what is left. So what I've got here is, and remember with this L shape, if I put those 2 lines, if I did that in a different oops, don't know what I did then. Where are you? If I did those 2, let's do them in red. Those 2 lines can move up to those 2 black lines that I've drawn. So if I look at the perimeter being 28, let's go that. So the perimeter is literally 6 plus 6 plus these 2 lengths here, plus x plus x. So 28 equals 12 plus 2x. Take the 12, and that gives me 16 equals 2x. So divide by 2, x equals 8. So that's 8, and that means that that length there is 5. So if I just check that, I've got, if this is 5, that's 2, so I've got, just check, 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4 plus 5. 5, 10, 20, 28. Yeah, so I'm good with that. Now I'm going to work out the areas of the rectangles. So I've got one rectangle here of 2 by 3. So that area there is 6. I've then got a bigger rectangle here which is 8 by 4. 8 by 4, which is 32. So the area is 6 plus 32, which is 38. Now I need to just look at the two triangles. I'm going to call this area 1 and this one area 2. Area 1 is base times height, a half, times 8 times 4. 8 fours are 32, half of that is 16. Area 2 is a half, 3 times 6. 3 sixes are 18, times 2 is 9. If I add those two together, that is 25. Get your answer in there. And so the area of the shaded is 38. Take 25, which is 13 meters squared. Okay. Finally, no, it's not finally. There's a few questions on this one. Okay. Diagram shows a floor in the shape of a trapezium. Is the trapezium one again? John's going to paint the floor. Each 5 litre tin of paint costs $16.99. 1 litre of paint covers an area of 2 metres squared. John has £160 to spend on paint. Has John got enough to buy all the paint he needs? You must show how you get your answer right. First of all, I've got the area of my trapezium is that half A plus B times H again, where A and B are the parallel sides. The height is the perpendicular between them. So I've got a half 10 plus 16 times by 7. Half of 26 is 13 times by 7. So I'm going to do that's 13 times by 7, which is 91 meters squared. So that's the area of the trapezium. So what it says is each 5 litre tin of paint costs £16.99. 1 litre of paint covers an area of 2 meters squared. So what I've got here, I've got 91 meters squared. So if I'm going to do 91 divided by 2, which is 45.5, and that is litres. How many tins do I then need? So if I do 45.5 divided by 5, well, that is 9.1 tins. Okay. So my issue with 9.1 tins is if I got 9.1 tins, I would need to buy 10 tins, and 10 times 16.99 is £169.90. So John hasn't got enough for 10 tins. Only 9. He probably has got enough there. If we'd done 9.1 times 16.99, probably he's got enough money for the paint, but he hasn't got enough to buy the tins. Okay. Right. Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks completely with paint. Each tank tank is in the shape of a cylinder with a top and a bottom. The tank has a diameter of 1.6 metres, height of 1.8 metres. Germany has 7 tins of paint. Each tin of paint covers 5 metres squared. Has Germany got enough paint to cover completely 3 tanks? You must show you get your answer. First of all, look for the easy mark. He's got 7 tins of paint. If you do 7 times 5, 35 metres squared, there'll be a mark in there for that. So then I've got to look at my tank. I'll do a bad little sketch. So remember that what we've got with this is we have a diameter. Well, first of all, we've got the radius, which is half of the diameter, that's 0.8. The height of this is 1.8. And then we've got to think about what this looks like. So if we've going to cover them completely, we've got 2 circles. So the net of a cylinder is 2 circles. So we've got A equals pi r squared, which is pi, and then r is 0.8 squared. And then we've got, so that's the area of the circle. And then the area of the rectangle is 1.8, and then the length from here to here is actually the circumference, and the circumference is pi times d. So what I've got is the diameter is 1.6, so what I've got is pi times 1.6 times by 1.8, okay? What I'm going to now do is, and then remember that the area I'm going to have to score times by 2. So let me get my calculator. I'm just going to use 3.14 because I've got a basic calculator here. I'm not using the one on the screen. So I've got 0.8 times 0.8 times by 3.14. So this area here is 2.0096, and then I've got 3.14 times by 1.6 times by 1.8, and that is 9.0432. So the area of the cylinder equals plus 2 times 2.0096. And that one's times by 2. That gives me the area of the cylinder of 13. Should put surface area 13.0624. If I times that by 3, is obviously 39.18 by the looks of it, 39.18 something, and because he's only got 35, no, Jeremy needs over 4 meters squared, so another tin. Okay, tin, not tin. Okay, right, another one of these. Here are 2 rectangles. All measurements are in centimetres. The area of rectangle A is equal to the area of rectangle B. Work out the perimeter of rectangle B. So here are 2 rectangles. All measurements are in centimetres. The area of rectangle A. So rectangle A, the area of rectangle A is 4x times by 2.5. And that equals 7 times by 2x minus 3. So what we've got, forming solving an equation, 4 times 2.5, so we've got 10x equals 14x take 21. So I'm just expanding the bracket. Now, it doesn't matter really which way we go with this, so I'll just usually I take the 10x, but I'm going to take the 14x just to get them on the same side. So I've got minus 4x equals minus 21, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. That means they cancel out, so x equals 21 divided by 4 is 5.25. Okay. That means that work out the perimeter of rectangle B. So what I've got is 2 lots of 5.25 take 3. That is 10.5 take 3. 10.5 take 3 is 7.5. So that is 7.5. That means that is 7.5. That is 7. So perimeter of B equals 7.5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7.5 plus 7. That's 14 plus 15, which is 29. Doesn't give it any units. 29 is fine. Next question. The perimeter of a square is the same length as the perimeter of this triangle. All measurements are in centimetres. Find an expression in terms of x, the length of a side of the square. Give your answer in its simplest form. So first of all, the perimeter of the triangle equals 2x plus 3 plus 5x minus 2 plus 5x plus 3, which is 2x plus 5x plus 5x is 12x. 3 plus 3 is 6. Take 4. Plus 4. 12x plus 4. So that is the perimeter. It then says up here, the perimeter of a square has the same length as the perimeter of the triangle. So perimeter of the square equals 12x plus 4. So one side equals 12x plus 4 divided by 3, which is divided by 4, because there's 4 sides, is 3x plus 1. Find an expression in terms of x, the length of a side of the square. Okay, one side is that, 3x plus 1. That's easy. Here is a rectangle. All measurements are in centimetres. The area of the rectangle is 48 centimetres squared. Show that y equals 3. This is one of those questions that you could just get a little confused with. What you've got to realise here is that that and that are they're both equal to each other. So what I've got is 2x plus 6 equals 5x minus 9. If I take the 2x, that gives me 6 equals 3x minus 9. If I add the 9, I get 3x equals 15. And if I divide by 3, that gives me a value of x is 5. Seeing that I've got that value of x is 5, I can sub in. So what I've got is 2 times 5 plus 6. That means that this side is 16, and so this will obviously be 16, just show you it. 25 take 9 is also 16. Area of a rectangle, so in this case 16 times y equals 48. Divide by 16, divide by 16, y equals 3. That's shown that. Okay. here is a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 7 centimetres longer than the width of the rectangle. 4 of these rectangles are used to make this 8-sided shape. The perimeter of the 8-sided shape is 70 centimetres. Work out the area of the 8-sided shape. Okay, so first of all, the length of the rectangle is 7 centimetres longer than the width. This is a bit of algebra. So this is x. This is x plus 7. So what I can then do is put all of this on here. So I've got x plus 7. I've got x. I've got x. I've got x plus 7. I've got x plus 7. I've got x plus 7. Now I've just got to look at these small bits here. Well, this bit here is x plus 7 take x, so that must just be 7. And this is exactly the same, x plus 7 take x. If you can't see that, it's because there's x plus 7, there's the x, so that bit is the bit that's left, and the same occurs here. So what we've then got, that is also 7. So if I look at everything around here, I've got, just highlight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 x's, 8 x's, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sevens. 6 sevens are 42, and that equals 70. If I take 42, 8x equals 28. Divide by 8, so x equals 3.5. Work out the area of the 8-sided shape. Well, the area is this. X is 3.5, so I've got my rectangle. I've got 3.5 and 3.5 plus 7, that would be 10.5. If I then multiply that together, just get my calculator, 3.5 times 10.5, that is 36.75. And the area is 4 of those, so 4 area equals 4 lots of 36.75, which is 147 centimetres square. Okay, next question. A diagram shows a rectangle ABDE and 2 congruent triangles AFE and BCD. Area of rectangle ABDE is equal to area of triangle AFE plus area of triangle BCD. AB to AE equals 1 to 3. Congruent means they're both the same, so the area of the 2 makes the one in the middle. Now AB, I've got 1 to 3, so I'm going to say that this is x and this is 3x. So using some algebra, and now I want to look at the area of the triangle AFE. So this area here, area 1. Now the area of the triangle is a half AB sine C, big C. Now I'm going to say that this is big C. So what I've got is a half A and B are the 2 sides next to the angle, and adjacent, you might call it. So I've got half of 24 times by 3x, and sine of 30 is actually a half. So what I've got is I've got a half. 24 times 3x is 72x, times by a half. is 36. Half of 36 is 18. That gives me 18x. So the area of this here is 18x. That means that one's 18x, so this is 36x. So what I've then got is the area of the rectangle is x times 3x equals 36x. What I've then got is that is 3x squared equals 36x. If I divide that x out by that x, what I end up with is 3x equals 36. If I divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 12. So what side length did it want? Length of AE. AE is, so x is 12. So x is 12. So AE equals 3 lots of 12, which is 36. Okay. Yeah, that's right. And that's my next question. Is a rectangle and right-angled triangle, or maybe it's a simple area of the rectangle is greater than the area of the triangle on the set of possible values of x. So what I've got here is the algebra. Area of the rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is 3x minus 2 times by x. The area of the triangle is half times the base, which is x, times by the height, which is 2x, and that is actually x times x is x squared, half of 2, so that is actually just x squared. So the area of the rectangle is greater than the area of the triangle. If I take the x squared, that gives me 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is greater than 0. I then need to find the values of x. If I was to factorise this, so 2 times 2, so I'd end up with multiply together to make 4 and add together to make minus 5. Well, that would be minus 4 and minus 1. So what I get is 2x squared minus 4x. I'm splitting the middle term. Take 1x plus 2. I factorise that, so I've got 2x, and then I've got x minus 2, and then I've got x minus 2 times that by minus 1. So what I've got is 2x minus 1 from there, a bit tricky on this, times by x minus 2. So what I end up with, get my 2x minus 1 equals 0, and that gives me plus 1, 2x equals equals 1 divided by 2. So x equals a half, or x minus 2 equals 0. So plus 2 plus 2, x equals 2. Set possible values of x. So what we've got is this is greater than 0. So what we then do is we look at our curve, our x squared. These two things I found here are roots. So we'd have, that would be a half, and that would be 2. And what I want is values of x where it's greater than 0. So that's above 0 is up there, and it's above there. So what I've got is x is less than a half, or x is greater than 2. If it's a value of x for, if I went down the half route, less than a half, it wouldn't work on this one here. So because a half minus 1 means I'd get a negative, so as such I can't use that. So of such, x is greater than 2 are the only values I can use if I look at substituting in. Okay, length of a rectangle is the same as the length of each side of a square. The length of the rectangle is 4 centimetres more than 3 times the width of the rectangle. The area of the square is 66 centimetres squared, more than the area of the rectangle. Find the length and the width of a rectangle. You must show all your working. Seems complicated. Length of a rectangle is the same as the length of each side of a square. So rectangle, square. Each side of the square, let's call it x. And let's call the length is x. Length of it is 4 centimetres more than 3 times the width of the rectangle. So would that be the best way? I think if I'd gone the other way, now looking at that, and this is what you sometimes get with these, I always like to work with the smallest. So in this case, I'm going to say that the smallest side is the one I'm going to work with. I'm going to say that that is the width. Okay, so the width, so 4 centimetres more than 3 times the width. So if the width is x, so that's 3x plus 4, okay? So that's, and the area of the square is, so this would be 3x plus 4, and this would be 3x plus 4 as well. The area of the square is 66 centimetres more than the area of the rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this area is 3x plus 4 times by x plus 66 equals the area of this one, which is 3x plus 4 times by 3x plus 4. Good algebra here. So let's work this one out. So I've got x times 3x, that's 3x squared plus 4x plus 66. That's this one. Then on this side I've got 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. That's 3x squared plus 12x plus 12x plus 16. That gives me, no, not 3x squared, 9x squared. So I've got 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. So I make these two things equal. So what I get is 3x squared plus 4x plus 66 equals 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. Take the 3x squared, take the 4x and take the 66, take the 3x squared, take the 4x, take the 66. So I've got 0 equals 6x squared. Take plus 20x minus 50. Two numbers multiply together to make minus 300. They add together to make 20. And what I can see is that is 30 times minus 10. Gives me that. So what I've got is I've got 6x squared plus, split in the middle term, plus 30x. Take 10x, take 50. So factorise that. 6x gives me x plus 5. If I do x plus 5, I've got minus 10 there. So I've got 6x minus 10, and I've got x plus 5. That equals 0. So 6x minus 10 equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. Plus 10 plus 10. 6x equals 10, divide by 6, divide by 6. So x equals 10 over 6. Take 5, or x equals minus 5. I'm not going to be able to use x equals minus 5 because you can't have a negative. So what I've got is x is 10 over 6. I'd leave it as a fraction. And then 3 lots of 10 over 6 plus 4 is 30 over 6, which is 5. So that is 9. So I've got 10 over 6. What have I got? Length is 9. Width 10 over 6. And length is 9. Let me just check that. 3, 5. Yeah. That's good. You might change this to, if you had changed the 10 over 6, you might get 2 and 2/3, but no, 1 and 2/3. Don't start putting it as a recurring decimal. 1.6, just leave it like that. Okay, difficult, but there we are.